I shouldn't be so flippant with my family's drama. Uriel, my cousin, disappeared years ago. My aunt believed he died in Varen's revolt. Yet, here he is. Something doesn't seem right. But I'll leave the speculation to the investigator. One Mizik Thunderboots. It's an odd name for an investigator, don't you think? Doesn't inspire a sense of discretion. Although, if what he says is true, he knew my aunt. If she trusted him, then so can I.
Things here are more dire than I suspected. Come, Proxy. Things here are more dire than I suspected. Greetings, Proxy. I cannot discern its origin. Hermaeus Mora gifted me an ability to perceive the threads of fate. This tangle painfully overwhelms that very gift whenever I try to approach the inn. Someone without such sight must act as my agent, namely you. Pass through this tangle and enter the inn. Find the source of this disturbance. Stop it however you can. I cannot assist you in this. You shall stand alone against a force that tangles fate and unravels reality. Succeed. If we allow the tangle and fate to persist, our localized reality could collapse. In short, we would all cease to exist. Enter the inn while I research this phenomenon. And hurry, Proxy. Cause and effect shape out. Imagine swinging a blade, but as I understand it, the outcast. Cause and effect shape. Go where I cannot, Proxy. Untangle this knot of fate.
I visit the inn to do some reading and sometimes to work on my novel. Usually it's filled with people drinking and making noise.
How does Brynmere expect me to get work done with these odd happenings going on? I can't...
I don't understand what's happening. All of it occurring simultaneously, it won't stop. You aren't here. This place isn't here. I'm not really here. Go away.
Another apparition?
Whoa, Brynmere seems upset. Why? Do those odd wandering people bother him? Just leave them alone.
Yes, please come in. Stay for a while. Just pay no mind to the crack in the sky outside or those shadows. Ignore them and have a drink. All right, I can't ignore them either. It all started when the woman at the table by the fire came in. I don't know her from a skeever's ass, but she's absolutely the cause of my problems. Right after she arrived, the sky changed, and those shadows started roaming my inn. Not a one, but a good innkeep can guess what a customer needs. And she needs a drink. Something to wake her up. A Skyrim sunrise. I can't leave my patrons with these shadows, though. Could you go to the well and fetch some water? You'll drink free. The well's out back in the courtyard. Bring me a bucket of water, and I'll mix up a Skyrim sunrise. That should get her talking. Then I can... All good innkeepers know when to leave someone alone and when to chat them up. Can't think of a better word. They're not people.
Keep playing. Just keep playing. They won't hurt you unless you stop the music. I don't...
The well's out back in the courtyard. Bought the place I wanted to almost every inn. Always. All good innkeep. Can't think of a better.
mortal help me, please. I don't know if you can understand me. My mind is a storm of images and voices and memories. I can see every reality all at once, the many paths. But my grip on this realm keeps slipping. But you... I see that you are real. My name is Athelia. I am what mortals call a Daedric prince. My power... I feel myself losing control. These echoes, I summoned them, but I did not mean to. The inn... it drew me here, called to me. I need something it can provide. Possibilities. Probability. A phrase emerges from the storm. Sage's dream. Yes. That's it. A drink, I think. It tastes of belonging. Cohesion. The innkeeper, ask him to make this drink for me. Quickly, before the storm takes me again. I remember so little about myself. Why is that? I am Athelia, the Daedric Prince of Paths, the mistress of the untraveled road. I am... confused. Remembering is a struggle. I cannot extract details from the chaos of converging echoes from other realities.
Well, at least she's finally talking. That's better than I ever managed. I hope you told her to get out of here. My remaining customers are starting to talk about settling their bill and finding someplace less strange. I knew she wanted a drink. But Sage's dream? Never heard of it. And the previous owner left junk all over the courtyard. I've been Gilredal's Book of Obscure and Ancient Spirits. That's the book's name. Not a clue. Innkeepers get plenty of requests. They don't understand. Strong drink fogs the mind, right? Makes some pains less sharp. Gilredal's Book of Obscure... Not a clue. In strong drink. She hasn't moved once since you left. I tried talking to her, but she only muttered quietly to herself. I'd almost feel bad for her if I wasn't losing sales. Oh, did you find that book on obscure drinks? An Aeliad drink? Odd. This inn was built on Aeliad ruins. Just a coincidence. Tirum weed, hark fruit juice, loot berries. I've never even heard of these ingredients. I can mimic that flavor profile, though. Just need some substitutions. I need to think about it. Maybe some frost minium? Oh, some lotus might work. In the meantime, I need to make some syrup. Go to the cellar and grab some sugar. I'll keep thinking about this until you get back. Reproducing a sage's dream sounds like a fun challenge. It'll certainly take my mind off of what's happening to my inn. You'll find stairs to the cellar in the room behind you. It opens up into an old ruin, but don't mind that. Never. I've learned about drinks from across Tamria, and none of these ingredients sound familiar. But that won't stop me. Maybe we can bring this drink back into popularity. Oh, sure. You'll find these old ruins all across Colovia. The first owner built the inn on top of some. Whoever dug out the cellar broke through into ruins and just left it that way. I use it for storage now. Never. I've learned about drinks from across town. Oh, sure. Never. I've learned about drinks.
Something hides here. I feel its hatred thick and sour. Perhaps I can call it to us. This horrid relic rose from the ground. I need to talk. When you left, I was compelled to follow. I saw an image of you entering this chamber, and I knew I had to be here with you. But then this awful lamp appeared, rudely popping out of nowhere. I hate the damned thing! The storm in my head, remember? I cannot focus through all the overlapping paths. I think this damned lamp was... Over here. I sense a path that wishes to be explored. Shine the lamp, please. A doorway to the many paths. Step through and I will follow. My power abandons me here. I will follow if I can.
The enemy approaches. They come to imprison my prince.
No, Torvazard. They are... different. Approach, Pathwalker, and speak with me. A mortal Pathwalker. Such a creature is quite rare. And I see you are accompanied by one of my reflections. An Athelia from a different path. You carry something else with you. It feels like... hatred. Tell me. Why have you come to my reality? The Lamp of Clarity. A relic created to hunt me and my unseen. It carries a spark of its creator Azora within. That gives it a bit of awareness. It must know that your Athelia poses a threat. But why lead you to me? Ah. Sage's Dream is the mortal name for our connection to the many paths. It manifests as a drink, but is brewed from ingredients infused with my very own essence. Drinking it will reconnect my reflection to the many paths, and stabilize her power. They bloom in my shadow, or in the shadows of other Athelias. Each path's ingredient is unique. You can find Tiramweed here, but the rest grows in other realities. Take what you need, Pathwalker. This is my end, Pathwalker. Hermaeus Mora has declared me a threat to reality and comes to imprison me. I am tired of fighting. It is the same on every path I have examined. How strange. A mortal who walks the many paths without understanding. The mortal mind is... Mortals are servants, performing tasks. Most mortals quake in fear. I suppose so. Once Hermaeus Mora chose my fate. The many paths connect. Another Athelia. So powerful and proud. Here, collect the ingredient and let us go back, mortal. Take it with my blessing. A new path appears. Use the lamp, mortal. Step through. Let us see where this path takes us. Dread fills this path. Find the ingredient, but use caution. We are not welcome here. Have Mora's forces finally come? Then I am finished. No. You do not belong here. But a reflection of the Prince of Paths travels with you. Have you come to revel at my defeat? To watch Hermaeus Mora imprison me? How shameful that I attract a mocking audience. Get on with your gloating then. Of course she lost control of her powers. All Aethelias are fragile creatures. They break under the slightest pressure. Just like glass. How did you get here, if my reflection cannot control her power? How did you walk the many paths? My Shardborn should gut you. Whether you intend it or not, this humiliates me even more. An item of my ruin born by a reflection who walks free. If it will get you to leave, I have Hark Fruit, one of the ingredients for Sage's Dream. Take it and go. Azura's lamp is not a friend to Athelia, Pathwalker. All the relics work to subdue us. If it helps make a Sage's Dream, it is not to empower my reflection. No matter. My fate here is sealed, so what do I care? Take your Hark Fruit and leave me. Accepted. All that I am will soon vanish from reality. How could I possibly be comfortable with annihilation? No. I feel dread. Resentment. Anger. And totally ashamed by my obvious weakness. When word arrived of Hermaeus... This reflection seems resigned to her fate. Quite different from the other. I saw how to open a doorway. Let us return to the inn's cellar. This is the last path caught. Like before, this path stirred up memories. I experienced the same dread before Hermaeus Mora's forces arrived. But I did not collapse like a coward. I commanded my Shardborn to resist, and they obeyed. The struggle, I recall, was epic. I remember the armies of the other princes pounding on the doors to my shrine. My loyal Shardborn readying their weapons. The sounds of unrelenting battle. I recall the princes standing in judgment over me. Then, blackness. She is correct. I should not trust Azura's lamp. But it led us to 2 ingredients needed for a Sage's Dream. And now we have Tiramweed and Hark Fruit. 1 more and we can make the drink. And then I can regain control of my powers. Step into the many paths once again. Unbridled anger fills these halls. We have entered a war zone. Find the last ingredient, but be careful.
No, you must not bring that reflection any closer. Speak with me. Your Athelia, does she not sense it? The Athelia of this path, my prince, has lost herself. She has become the monster that Hermaeus Mora foresaw. If she cannot regain control, this reality is finished. Why does a mortal walk beside an Athelia? Then I hope you succeed where I have failed. I tried to get my prince to calm down, but she lashed out at Mora's forces with her full fury. The more she fought, the more lost she became. Perhaps there is still a chance for you. How can I help? Why would... Oh, I understand. Azura's lamp wants to preserve your reality. By helping your Athelia regain control, she can be safely imprisoned again. The ingredient you need is close by. Loot berries. Hurry and take them before it is too late. Flee while you can, mortal. Save your own life. Just spare a thought for this doomed path. If Athelia, the unimaginable. Can you contemplate what happens?
Mora deaths! Damn his eyes! Every one of them! He wanted a monster! Behold the last tomorrow! Behold the destroyer of reality!
This Athelia shows uncontrolled rage. It will consume every piece of this reality.
This realm will not last much longer. The binds of reality have begun to fray. Hurry, mortal. Gather the loot berries and I will open a way out of this place. Leave this path before my reflection destroys it.
There you are. Come here. I have an idea. Did you get lost down here? Yeah, that happens to me sometimes too. That woman is back upstairs, sitting by the fire, so I came looking for you. I think I figured out how to make a sage's dream, even if we don't have the proper ingredients. What? You do? Well, that makes things easier. I'm not sure where you got ingredients that no longer exist, but the good innkeeper knows when not to ask questions. Can you help me make the drink? I'll read from the recipe book while you do the rest. I turned my alchemy stove into the finest experimental drink maker in Tamriel. You can be the first to try it. For each ingredient, we'll need to get the temperature just right. I'll call out for more or less heat. You turn the appropriate valve. First, place the tyrum weed in the apparatus. Slowly apply heat to steep the tyrum weed. Needs more heat. Too hot. Reduce the heat. That looks nicely steeped. Next, place the hawk fruit in the apparatus. Apply heat to liquefy the hawk fruit. Again, not too hot. It needs to be hotter. The hawk fruit looks properly reduced. Now add loot berries to the apparatus. You should chill the loot berries without freezing them. It needs to be cooler. Perfectly chilled. Now to blend the drink. 2 parts steeped tyrum weed and hawk fruit juice for every 1 part of chilled loot berries. Perfect amount of tyrum weed. Don't add any more. That's the exact amount of loot berries we need. Looks like a perfectly blended sage's dream. Pour the finished drink into that carafe. Now, grab the drink and take it to that strange woman. I'll meet you upstairs.
Sage's dream. Do you have it? We walked the many paths together and learned much, mortal. Yet I still cannot control my power or clear the storm from my mind. Every path collides in this place. If you have a sage's dream, please, place it on the table. I wish to calm the chaos. The storm abates, and I can clearly see the many paths. I can discern one reality from the next, and my mind is clear. I am myself again. I am Athelia, Prince of Paths and Mistress of the Untraveled Road. I shall set things right. The echoes I dragged from disparate paths are free to return to their own realms, and allow me to untangle the threads of fate and restore balance to this reality. I thank you, Pathwalker. And I am jealous of you. We learned that every Athelia is dangerous. A broken creature that ends up hunted. We cannot change who we are. But mortals, you choose your paths. You don't need the powers of a Daedric prince to alter your fate. I envy this. Goodbye, Pathwalker.
You did it!
The pain is gone, and the threads of fate have untangled. I sense the knot in the threads of fate has untangled, Proxy. This threat to our reality has passed. Should I assume you are responsible? Tell me, Proxy, you saved reality and discovered a critical relic at the same time. Hermaeus Mora was right to put faith in you. If Athelia has regained her power, we will need that lamp to find her. Would you mind if I take it to study? With Athelia free and more in control of her power, she still poses a threat. If you have an interest, come to Skingrad and meet with me again. We have more work ahead of us. I must contact Hermaeus Mora and inform him that Athelia has regained at least some of her power. Do not take this as a slight against you. Helping her saved many lives. Take it to Skingrad for study. Azura's lamp was designed to hunt down Athelia and her minions. No. I must contact Hermaeus Mora and...
I may seem young, but I'm good with... One of the local...
We build our business on trust.
In a city filled with wine, those with heavy purses and...
I just got a shipment in from High Isle.
You're back. I take it you found enough ore? Refining ore into ingots is a good way to build your muscles. Well, in one arm. Best to switch every now and then. Otherwise, you'll be lopsided. Bring the iron ore to a blacksmithing station. If you have enough, you can refine them into iron ingots. Really put your back into it. When you have iron ingots, return to me. If you're in a guild, check the guild stores. They often have raw materials and refined goods for sale. Of course.
Do not waste my... My swords are too heavy? Perhaps his arms are too weak.
Feels like I've been at this forever.
Selling, buying, trading right here.
Bring some iron ore to a blacksmithing station. You can refine it there to get iron ingots. Refining ore into ingots is a good way to build your muscles. Well, in one arm. Go to the blacksmithing station and craft an iron dagger. Nothing fancy. You shouldn't need more than 2 iron ingots. Every race has a traditional material they want. craft an iron dagger, you'll need some iron ingots and a style material. You can buy those from any blacksmith if you can't find them yourself. The trick is the style material, but I'm sure you know that. Next is deconstruction. You learn a lot when you break something into parts, even more so when it's someone else's work. Go deconstruct your dagger, or anything else really, as long as you do it at a blacksmithing station.
Are too weak.
You certainly know your way around a forge. You're a blacksmith, and let none tell you otherwise. Of course, I'll get you certified right away so you can fulfill blacksmith crafting writs immediately. Let me know if you have some time. I can train and certify you in something else. A good woodworker sees the final product before cutting the first block of wood. But I can't teach two crafts at once. If you commit yourself to the training, I'll certify you. I want to know if you can craft a maple bow. First, go harvest some rough maple. You'll refine it into sanded maple at a woodworking station. Absolutely. Bow, there's a place nearby which should have what you need. Look for rough maple in forest.
The longer you temper the steel, the stronger the sword will be.
I've got a lot to do here.
find some help for Uncle Octavius and Pym. Oh! You look like just the sort of heroic warrior I could use. My family's farm is facing some goblin problems right now, and I'm worried my uncle is going to do something terrible. Does that sound like something you could help with? My Uncle Octavius is going to hire some hunters to cull the goblins. But the goblins haven't done anything deserving of full cull yet. Pym says there's a reason for the goblins' behavior, and I believe her. She's a goblin researcher. Pym's taken special interest in the 2 tribes which have camps near our farm. She talks about goblins like they're the best thing in all of Westweald. Go talk to Pym. I'm sure she'd pay you for your help. I think Pym was going to meet with my uncle, so you might be able to find her at the family farm near Gray's Hollow. I really hope you can help the situation before things get too bad. I don't have a clue. They've never been this angry before. My uncle and the other farmers can forgive a few sheep here and there, but they'll lose everything if the goblins continue like this. They're not hungry. Anything they kill is left where it is. I'd say the goblins are sending us a message, but no one on the farms has done anything. Pym checked. I can't blame the farmers for being nervous.
goblin just attacked me, Pim. My niece is missing. I'm hiring the hunters.
Give me more time. I can figure out what's upsetting them. I can calm them down.
Sorry, Goblin researcher. Looks like I won.
Hiring hunters isn't the way to solve this problem. I know that goblins can be unnerving if you aren't used to them, but wiping out 2 camps is going too far. Do you have a moment to help me with this goblin problem? These goblins are more aggressive than usual. It's almost as if they're getting ready for war. When goblins fight, they make trouble for everyone. Goblins aren't stupid, though. They wouldn't get this aggressive without a cause. If searching through a few goblin camps to see what's upsetting them is all it takes to stop a tragedy from happening, it'll be hard to miss the Bitterfish's camp. It's just west of here. Look for the campfire. I'm not sure, really. Signs of a struggle? Maybe a disturbance of some sort? Same way you study anything else, I guess. What we'll be doing won't strictly be research. I'm not sure, really. Keep your gold, Octavius. My friend and I are going to fix this.
Do what you have to, but don't blame me, Pim.
Try not to call too much attention to yourself. I don't want to stress the goblins more than necessary. Oh no! They're shaman? Oh, look at the wounds! Goblin weapons don't cause trauma like that. Normally there's an incredible totem in this shrine. Where is it? Goblins never move their totem. The missing totem and the shaman. It's all so horrid. But we should talk over what we found. Losing a shaman is enough to cause uncertainty within a goblin camp. But losing their totem too? No wonder this camp is so violent. I have some theories, but nothing conclusive. Nothing good. The missing totem is already enough to get the goblins angry and mobile. But the dead shaman explains the chaos. They're scared and unorganized. Desperate. We can't. Not without their totem. Until they get it back, they won't appoint a new shaman. And whatever happened to the previous one seems suspicious to me. We should investigate the Sharptooth camp next. It's just southeast of Gray's Hollow. Goblins are highly territorial. That's why the Sharptooth camp is a little ways away from this Bitterfish goblin camp. Still, they're nearer than most other goblin tribes, and that makes for interesting research. You'll see what I mean. They're not as frightened of other creatures. I suppose having a camp near Gray's Hollow will do that. They do tend to get into more mischief because they're not as intimidated by the farms, but they're also not as reactionary.
It seems Mystic has been fooled by a four-legged escape artist. Careful now. A cunning and foul beast has made off with an important document and played Mystic for a fool. Perhaps you can help retrieve it? Ah, a wonderful idea from dear Aquilia. This one fears there is more afoot to Lady Weatherly's death. But our first clue is currently in the jowls of a dog. A hairy, stinky thing. Betu is the beast's name, though this one calls him Headache. Oh, yes. Helping with the will is a cover. Not only was her death sudden and mysterious, but now her fortune is missing, and her long-lost son has returned. A great many threads for one's claws to get tangled in, hmm? Yes, yes. Aquilia wishes the question of inheritance be conclusively answered before it becomes fodder for the gossips. Now, dear Aid, we must find Betu. This one has already found his tracks. Let us crouch down and follow his trail.
I don't know what you're playing at, but you were a fool to come here.
There's Lady Pelaa and her husband Uriel, our once long-lost son.
Oh, Mystic. I didn't see you there. I believe I saw...
With your aid, it's not for... Mystic was a friend. He is there. Mystic, most of... Mystic was... He is there. Mystic is not...
I'm sorry, I didn't see you and the investigator there. This search for the will is rattling my nerves. Please, let us know at once when you find it.
Losing my late mother's will has got everyone on edge.
There's Betu. Quick, grab the wheel while he is occupied. Quickly, grab the wheel.
Not now, Betu. Away with you.
With the wheel secured, let us speak with Edric.
Betu's always been an incorrigible sort. Best not to let him walk all over you. Apologies. I should introduce myself. My name is Edric Bressner. I was Lady Weatherly's cook. Terrible thing, her death. Beyond compare. Yes, terribly so. I've been in her employ for what feels like ages, which is why I hope you'll listen when I say you must leave the estate. I fear what happened to our dear lady could happen to you. Chefs are privy to more than just their employer's favorite dishes. Lady Weatherly hasn't been the same since her son's disappearance, and I'm not the only one to take notice. Fruit flies buzz around the sweetest fruit, after all. I can't say any more. I only came to pay my respects and to leave this place behind. If I were you, I would stay far away from that manor before that investigator digs up something horrible. If you insist on staying, that's your business. Just watch your back.
It seems the cook knows more than he is willing to let on. How very curious. Mizik will have to make note of this. At least this confirms that the residents of the estate are keeping their secrets close to their chests. Yes, of course. Along with the cook, there's Otho Florius, the gardener. Then, of course, Lady Weatherly's missing son himself, Uriel, back from the dead. And his wife, Helena, who has long lived at the estate with Lady Weatherly. Convenient, yes? Many questions surround Uriel's sudden return, and it should be noted that Helena seems none too pleased about it. Mizik has, of course, investigated a number of failed marriages, but this seems different. Ah, what of the will? Yeah, excellent. The seal is still intact. We should return to the manor now that we've secured the will. I am certain our roosting vultures are keen to hear what it has to say. Meet Mizik by the manor house when you are ready to meet the others.
I hope Bedou's return means you retrieved the will, Mizik?
Yes, the will is returned and intact, thanks to my assistant.
Well, let's get this over with. Read it aloud, Mizik.
Yes, of course. Weatherly's walls hide a glittering secret, safely guarded by 4 loyal paws. Do not worry. Mizik and his assistant will get to the bottom of this.
I'm sorry. Is that a riddle?
This must be some sort of joke.
There he is, my faithful friend. Oh!
Strange. Bedou doesn't seem too fond of you, cousin.
Nonsense. I'm sure Bedou just decides to remember me. Isn't that right, Owen?
Feel free to speak with the others, but join me in the study when you are ready.
All this waiting, and for what? A riddle! It's absurd! The sooner you and Mizik solve this riddle, the sooner our family can move on from this nonsense. To think, we haven't even had a chance to celebrate Uriel's return. How embarrassing. You overheard that. Tensions have been high since his mother's passing. There are certain adjustments we've both had to make. Nothing some restful sleep can't solve.
I didn't realize Mizik had an assistant. A pleasure to meet you. I hope, despite the circumstances, you will find time to enjoy the estate grounds. It's beautiful this time of year. A small blessing while we grieve. Happy doesn't do the feeling justice. Ecstatic, overjoyed, yet still burdened by Mother's passing and the horrors of battle. But being surrounded by loved ones has been a major boon.
The estate feels hollow now, without her. And apologies for my appearance. Needed some liquid courage to walk the halls of this corpse. I hope you find who did this. She did not deserve what happened to her. Closer than most staff are with their lords and ladies, I reckon. I'd worked for her since before young Uriel had even been born. Feels like a lifetime ago. More memories to drown, I suppose.
I'm Otho, the gardener. Bedou must like you if he followed you back. He's a good judge of character, you know.
Lady Weatherly loved him dearly. I worry about what will become of him when all is said and done. Edric is making a bit of a fool of himself. It pains me to see him this way. I assure you, he's never acted like this before. Perhaps it'd be better if you asked him. He's had a rough go of it.
It seems I was right to ask for your help. Despite the mysterious contents of the will, this is the most progress we've made all day. I trust you and Mizik will see things through, and we can proceed with this unpleasant business. Fairly, though I wish I had made more of an effort to visit. I spent many summers here when I was younger, but school and then my position kept me away for far too long. She was kind, generous. Her loss outweighs any treasure we might find.
Why would Lady Weatherly leave a riddle in her will? Perhaps you can make sense of it. Could the four paws mean Betu? They certainly are not Mizik's. Perhaps we can find a clue here in her study. Huh. It seems Pelaa made her feelings about the cook quite clear to Lady Weatherly. It seems Lady Weatherly led her own investigation into her son's death. A glittering sea. A note peeking out from behind the painting. Excellent eye for detail, friend. Interesting. A hidden note guarded by a paint... Let Mizik see the note. An anonymous letter warning Lady Weatherly of a traitor. This one wonders if they were able to meet before her death. It paints a disturbing picture of her final moments. Music was told that Lady Weatherly died alone in her library. But could she have met with a stranger only to become their victim? We must question the family, but do not mention the note. Whether this note was sent by the killer or a kind soul close to Lady Weatherly, it confirms one thing, that there is indeed a traitor among us. And with this letter, Mizik can do what he does best. Play cat and mouse.
If you are looking for the stranger who calls himself Uriel, he went to walk the estate grounds with Pelaa, and not a moment too soon. I was growing tired of their bickering. Of course, though I doubt I'd be of much help. I was tending to affairs in High Isle when I learned of my aunt's death. As her last living blood relative, I saw fit to see to her will, until my cousin's convenient reappearance, of course. Oh, as I understand it, she fell from her library's ladder while reaching for a book. If she had kept a modest staff on hand, perhaps she could have been saved. But by the time she was found, she had passed. I believe it was one of the estate's remaining workers. Pelaa would know more. She was here when it happened. Unlike Uriel. I know grief can cloud one's judgment, but is she not at all suspicious of Uriel's story? I haven't seen Uriel since we were teens, before I was sent to boarding school. And then he left to fight in Varen's revolt 6 years ago. He might share a passing resemblance, even with his scar, but I don't believe he's really Uriel. Frustratingly, no. But my aunt spent countless coins searching for Uriel. Even if his story is true, and he lost his memory, she would have found him. I fear Uriel was lost to us in the revolt. And this man is wearing our grief like a disguise. That's the thing. Since his arrival, Pelaa has been both overjoyed and furious. I suppose his return after so long could explain her mixed emotions. But I think she's hiding something. They share terse whispers constantly.
If Aquilia was Lady Weatherly's last living heir, could she have expected to receive the missing fortune? A motive, perhaps. While you speak with the family members.
How foolish of you to think that I would just disappear.
My love, apologies. Recent events have been overwhelming, to say the least. I needed some fresh air, and my dear Uriel saw fit to join me. Is there anything I can help you with? No, I was not. Lady Weatherly was kind enough to let me live on the estate when Uriel went off to fight, but I often spend my mornings walking through the woods. A ritual that has helped ever since Uriel's death. Absence, I mean. Otho Florius, the gardener, was the one who found her. He was the only one home at the time. Ever since I fired that horrible cook, Otho's been the only remaining staff member tending to the estate. Yes, I caught Edric snooping around my private quarters. Terrible thing, having one's privacy encroached upon. I told him to never return or I'd have Betu chase him out. I admit, I did enjoy striking fear into that sad little man. Well enough. He's known me since my courtship years with Uriel. He causes his fair share of mischief, but Lady Weatherly could never bring herself to get rid of him. After all, Betu was her last connection to Uriel. The dog has a penchant for stealing what isn't his. I usually ask our gardener to wrangle him, but as you can see, he hasn't done a very good job. Of course, now that Lady Weatherly has passed, we can consider alternatives.
Go on then, ask me how I returned. It's the only question anyone seems to have for me. Uriel Weatherly, back from the dead. It's laughable. 6 years ago, I left to fight in Varen's revolt. I was gravely wounded and left for dead, and would have died, had a caravan of Khajiit not stumbled upon me and taken pity. The Khajiit could heal my wounds, but not my memories. They were lost. Every single one. I rode with the caravan until I was fully healed. It wasn't until we rode into Skingrad that the first slivers of my past began to return. By the time I remembered my name and where I lived, it was too late. Mother was dead. Some things, yes, but there are still heavy clouds. For instance, it's clear Mother's riddle was meant for me, but I can't make sense of it. I can only hope your talented investigative skills solve this mystery. I fear Aquilia has merely succumbed to her own grief, chasing phantasms with bloody daggers. My mother was a wonderful woman who died a simple death. It is sad, but common. You come to understand this when you've been to war. From what I've been told, my mother lived her final years grieving in isolation. My dear wife Pelaa did her best to keep her company. All this talk of suspects when the woman simply fell. Though I suppose Thunderboots would not be here if the death weren't suspicious. Speak with the staff yourself if you see fit.
The gardener found Lady Weatherly's body. We should speak to him next.
There you go. Apologies for Betu's earlier mischief. I hope he didn't damage the will. He's normally better behaved, but the lady's passing has certainly got him on edge. Yes. I had taken over kitchen duties while Edric was away. I was restocking the pantry after returning from the market when I heard a loud crashing noise from the library. I thought Betu might have knocked something over in the library, but when I went to check, the door was blocked by something heavy. By the time I wedged myself through, it was too late. Yes, she was lying on the floor, motionless. One of the ladders had fallen and there were books scattered all around. I can take you to see the library. Everything is as I found it. No. Lady Weatherly was the only one in the library. Which is odd, now that I think about it. Betu is usually plastered to the lady's side, but he wasn't in the library. He was shut up in Pelena's room. I wonder why she would have put him there. Well, Pelena keeps going on about Edric, our cook. She says he was acting suspiciously leading up to her death. But for what it's worth, I find him to be kind. He may be able to shed more light on that situation himself.
You won't learn anything from those scheming charlatans, that's for sure. Lost memories, please. Children can weave better stories than that drivel. I'll say it again, stranger. You should leave this place. Nothing but rotten memories. No. Lady Pelena had all but run me out by then. Lady Weatherly couldn't bring herself to fire me, but I thought some time away would do us all some good. Worst decision of my life, I tell you that. It's my own fault, honestly. Something always felt off to me about Lady Pelena. She never seemed too torn up about Uriel's death. I was convinced she was hiding something, but turns out my chef's paunch doesn't make for being stealthy. She caught me going through her things. A terrible thing, I know, but I don't regret it. Some things deserve to be brought to light, you'll see.
Let us investigate the library. The library is to the left. Your other left. We must study the scene carefully. Look for anything out of place. Certainly a ladder couldn't have caused this much damage to the statue. Was that window already broken?
No. It was definitely intact before Lady Weatherly's death.
Something has broken the glass. Perhaps this was an escape route. You are certain this is where you found her body?
Yes. I'll never forget the sight of her lying there.
Quite the mess for a simple fall, don't you think?
It's remarkable seeing the famous Mizik Thunderboots at work. He's already noticed more than I ever could have.
No blood, a broken window, and a fractured statue with no explanation as to how it was damaged. Mizik feels that there is something just out of reach of this one's claws. But what could it be? The details don't add up. Investigations always require some stretch of the imagination, but to make sense of this crime scene would be to dream up a work of fantasy. Perhaps the fantasy is the clue. Only a panicked hand could make such messy brushstrokes. Could Otho's arrival from the market have startled the suspect, leading them to block the door and escape out of the broken window? But then why create such an elaborate scene? A fall is simple enough, a tidy portrait. We should continue to investigate this broken window. Perhaps we can find a trail on the other side.
I would never hurt Lady Weatherly.
Until the investigation is complete. Everyone is a suspect. The library exterior is just around the corner.
Betu, what is he sniffing?
Betu found a key? And look, it seems Betu wants us to follow him. Moons above. Is that Edric? Edric's tankard. There seems to be a suspicious residue inside. A confession, and a flowery one at that. Mizik isn't sure what to make of this. Tea. This one smells ginger, hibiscus, and something else. Something sickly. So this is the memorial Lady Weatherly built for her son. Mizik's snout wrinkles at the stench of both fresh and old death. Betu led us to the memorial of the lost Uriel Weatherly, and now we find the cook freshly poisoned. Let this one see the confession letter. Why would Edric lead us to Uriel's memorial and then kill himself? And earlier, the cook warned us of some mysterious danger. Could he have met the fate he was trying to save us from? Too many bodies and cryptic messages for this one's liking. The note says that Edric served Lady Weatherly poisoned tea the day she died, but the cook had already left the grounds. Otho confirmed that himself. And this letter says that Pelaa was present for tea, but she said she was out all morning. A good question, but the memorial may be a greater clue. Lady Weatherly had gone to great lengths to find her son, but was certain of his death to raise this memorial. Our Uriel may well be an impostor, but do not give away our upper hand. We know the real Uriel went to fight in Varen's revolt, and that Lady Weatherly spent a fortune to find his body. We also know from the note in the lady's study that Pelaa was against looking into his death. Yes, our masquerading rogue. The cook was certain that he was an impostor, but what about the others? Aquilia has her suspicions, but shouldn't Pelaa have known? Why hasn't she raised alarm bells and told the others? And he was the only one who could have ended the impostor's ruse. But then there is Edric's confession. Could it be a forgery to throw us off the trail? Or a convenient end to our investigation? I sense another hasty painting is before us. We should question the imposter, but we mustn't let on that we know his gambit. I also have my reservations about the once and again widowed Pelaa. If anyone else was aware of his ruse, it would be her. So why? Steady yourself as we approach the imposter, Uriel. This ruse may not be his only crime. It's increasingly likely that he killed Edric to keep his... We know the real Uriel went to fight in Varen's revolt, and that Lady Weatherly spent a fortune to find his body. We also know from the note in the lady's study that Pelaa was against looking into his death. Yes, our masquerading rogue. And he was the only one who could have ended the imposter's ruse. We should question the imposter. Steady yourself as we know the... Yes, our
What is with all the questions? Our intrepid investigators! Pelaa and I were just arguing over what to do with my mother's estate. The cook, you say? Well, as close as any young heir is with their staff. And now that I'm dead, what a ghastly turn of events! Hold on. Another memory is coming back to me. Yes. The cook always had a secret love for my mother. Was it grief that led him to kill himself? It must have been. You don't think he also... Oh, yes, of course. No, I must have gotten ahead of myself. Yes, that's it. All this...
Thank you, Uriel. That's all. We should speak to Pelaa next, traveler.
There's been another murder? The killer could come for any one of us next.
Nonsense. It's clear Edric was a troubled man who killed Lady Weatherly and took his own life.
Maybe so, but I'm not leaving this room just yet.
Oh, Mizik, do you have updates on your investigation?
As Mizik suspected. As Mizik suspected. As Mizik suspected.
Mizik, Edric, a murderer? I'm astonished. Well, the lady and I had intended to meet that morning, but it slipped my mind. If the tea was poisoned, I haven't the expertise, of course, to make such an accusation. But I do wonder, Arthur...
Thank you, Pelena. We will investigate all lingering threads. Traveler, let's speak with the gardener next. Could also have assisted in poisoning Lady Weatherly.
Betu seems to have run off again. It's embarrassing, really. You'd think I'd be better at keeping a handle on him, but the dog is a free spirit. How are things? Made any progress since investigating the library? It had become one of my daily duties while Edric was away. I usually try to brew her a pot before I leave for the market. Apologies for not mentioning that earlier. My daily tasks have become innumerable. Edric is dead. I can't believe it. No, he'd never hurt Lady Weatherly. We were like a family. Wait, the recipe for the lady's tea is wrong. She's always found ginger to be too overwhelming. Are you sure Edric wrote this? He couldn't have. He'd never make a mistake like that. And he was nowhere near the tea that morning. I started a pot for Lady Weatherly, and Pelena took over brewing it before I left. Strange. She was most definitely here. She even offered to finish brewing it. I've been so busy as of late that I accepted her offer. It's not every day Pelena lends a hand around the estate. Wait. Could Pelena have poisoned Lady Weatherly? She usually has it in her bedchambers, but the room's been locked this whole time. It seems in the commotion the key has been misplaced. It's likely her room has remained untouched since this whole tragedy began.
Music recalls a gilded key revealed to us by Betu.
If you already found the missing key, you may be able to unlock Lady Weatherly's bedchambers.
If the room has truly been locked this whole time, then not even the killer could re-enter. Let us see if we can find any clue. The residue on that teacup stinks with the same foul smell as the tainted tea we found with Edric's body. If this letter is true, then Pelaa played a role in Uriel's death. And this signature. Is this the name of our resident? Mizik would like to hear your thoughts on what we found. This note seems to confirm that Pelaa Weatherly had her husband killed while he was away from the estate. Did Lady Weatherly read it first and confront Pelaa with the truth? And what is Pelaa left to do when cornered? Indeed, Pelaa may have sensed an end to her cozy life. Killing Lady Weatherly before the imposter's arrival would secure her the fortune. She couldn't have known it was hidden, and now she can't reveal the imposter without outing herself. A poisoned cup of tea would bring unwanted attention to Lady Weatherly's death. Pelena's only option would have been to stage the scene. A fall from a ladder at the lady's age? Mizik can already imagine the solemn nods of acceptance. They must have brokered an agreement. Ride out the storm of Lady Weatherly's death and come out the other side rich. But they've stumbled along the way thanks to a curious cook and a meddling Mizik. It's time we confront our killers. Mizik heard a scream from down the hall. We must hurry.
He's dead! Someone killed him!
Betu? Betu, what's wrong, boy? Nobody leaves until Mizik finds out what happened. Traveler,
I was in the study when I thought I heard an argument.
We have to help him. Something has made Betu terribly ill. I've never seen him so scared. If only I knew what was wrong, I could help him. Wait. I recognize this smell. Yes, I couldn't place it until now. We used this poison around the estate grounds. We've fallen into such disrepair that beasts have moved into the cellars. Betu knows better than to eat this. He was forced. Yes, in the pantry. I kept a tin of medicinal herbs for this very occasion. I could never forgive myself if I had a hand in hurting Betu. Please, hurry! Get the herbs!
Quickly, friend. Search the pantry. Mizik hopes we can save at least one life today.
Betu! He's recovering. The herbs must be working.
Wonderful.
Thank you, friend.
Let's discuss the note you found with our imposter. Our imposter is dead, and our killer nearly succeeded in taking Betu's life as well. It is also not lost on Mizik as to who is missing from this room. The note you found with imposter Theophan's body.
What does it say? The lengths the cook went to protect Lady Weatherly. This one hopes she knew how dearly she was loved by her staff. There is no doubt left in this one's mind as to who our killer is. She must be held accountable for her crimes. She can't have gone far.
That you? What is it? Where are you going?
Quickly, follow that dog. These tunnels seem to run under the entire property. Good thing we have Betu's nose to lead us. Oh dear.
Music is all right.
A bit.
Apologies. This one is fine.
Away from me, you beast!
I hear Pelena's voice. She must be nearby.
Dark moons! Music is all right. Oh dear. Music needs to stop doing that.
Feeling a bit...
This one is fine.
Dark moons!
Music needs to stop doing that. Music is all right. Oh dear. Apologies. This one is fine.
Dark moons!
Music needs to stop doing that.
If only somebody would come.
Damn dog! How are you? I've committed no wrong. That man was an imposter. If I hadn't gotten him first, then he would have killed me. I spit on Theophan Pictor's name for masquerading as my dear Uriel. How could you possibly say that? Whose inane rambling convinced you of such nonsensical drivel? Everyone is out to frame me. Theophan, Otto, even that damned Edric. Damn this rotting estate. Everything I did, everyone I killed, I did it for my own survival. I hope it crumbles into dust just like that crone and her son. I spit on their graves.
The Count of Skingrad will decide your fate.
Pelaa, why would you hurt Betu?
Because this whole family can rot for all I care. Everything was...
You've done great work today, Traveler. The air is heavy with death. But just like the sun, truth will come out. If only Lady Weatherly could see Pelaa beaten at her own game. Pelaa will be delivered to Skingrad. With the evidence in hand, she should face charges for the deaths of Uriel, Lady Weatherly, and our imposter. While it's possible Theophan killed Edric, I am certain she played a role. To think this one nearly forgot about our remaining golden thread. Aquilia is the only living relative. Mizik supposes she will inherit the fortune. Not that we found a single coin to give her. Fortune aside, what we accomplished today is no small feat. If the fortune was to be found, we'd have stumbled upon it during our investigation.
What have you got there, boy?
It seems Betu has brought us something. Betu, where did you find this? Betu? Otto, escort Pelena back to the manor. We will follow the dog.
Apologies. This one is fine. Music is all right. Being a bit... Music needs to stop doing that.
Missy can't believe it. Is this Lady Weatherly's missing fortune? Let us investigate. Lady Weatherly must have left that note before her death. We should show it to Aquilia. You should share what you discovered with Aquilia. You should share.
Pelaa. Is it true? After everything my aunt did for you. Otho did his best to explain your findings. But is it really true? Pelaa is to blame for this nightmare? I thought she was acting strangely, but I blamed it on the grief. I would never have expected her to be capable of all this. And what of Uriel? What was his role in all this? I knew something was off about him. But to think he also played a role in killing my cousin. Lady Weatherly gave Pelaa a comfortable life, looked after her every need. All this death, in the pursuit of an absent fortune. Betu was safeguarding the fortune this whole time? It's a strange request, leaving the remaining fortune to Betu and her staff? But I wouldn't dare go against my aunt's wishes. How sweet. Lord Betu of Weatherly.
You have got to be joking. The dog!
I can't believe it. Many lives were lost, despite our best efforts. There is certainly joy to be found in our success, but this one will spend many a night wondering if there was more that could be done. Do not downplay your role either, friend. You forget, Mizik was a bumbling mess, chasing a sneeze-inducing beast. Betu, until you arrived. Mizik hopes news of this case strikes fear in the heart of all criminals who think they have gotten away. Mizik will stay for a while as executor of the estate. But yes, and Mizik could not have done it without you. But
I've always preferred cats. But you've made a good argument for dogs, Betu.
this one thinks Betu
Don't look at me like that. You would have done the same thing in my shoes. The fortune was always my goal. I was happy. The fool thought he could show up and demand half the fortune for himself. That wretched old woman had one last twist of the knife up her sleeve.
The estate and its fortune are left to Betu and me? I don't even know. How does one run an estate? Course I do. Never had a pet or siblings. And I've been tending to rich folks' gardens ever since I could use a pair of shears.
Folks around here whisper behind their...
If you think you're ready, then off you go. What aren't we offering at this point? That's a good question. Each Commandant Salirius is a Lieutenant Agrar. Legionary Jada has Commandant Salirius. Legionary Jada has been part of the Imperial.
Traveler, are you worried about the devastated region? Yes, of course. Better not to speculate or worry needlessly.
Don't mind me. No one cared when I was alive. And no one...
Oh, my love. How I miss you.
Some folks around here expect me to turn down wine because of the Green Pact.
You were taken much too soon.
I have always believed that adopting the ways of other lands is not good for Red Guards.
Legion jobs available here.
New.
Oh, yeah. It's a fine...
Tavius!
We do not apply the... Our wares have seen the heat.
I have been working this job.
the merchants who braved the wilderness?
Others may not understand it. Felicitations.
Inside the walls, I draws a breath. Facing two armies, he deals out death.
Not sorry, friend. There would be no honor in defeating you now.
If it's tribute you fancy, then I'm happy to oblige.
Such a fate within the city. He seeks to liberate.
Rapid new foliage growth is dangerous.
The ground shakes, the sky quakes, the forests are ablaze. Darkness falls and chaos spreads. Betrayal fills the day.
Life here is so...
Everyone always has some rest.
say stop.